Let's look at sponsored search auctions. Sponsored search auctions were introduced in the early days of the internet, actually, surprisingly early. But of course, their main innovation, a main innovator was Google. Google, of course, in 2010 had sponsored search revenue from sponsored links of 28 billion. That's gone up to 38 billion today. Hal Varian, Google's chief economist, who you'll hear from in just a moment, said what most people don't realize is that all the money comes from pennies at a time. So basically, you know what a search auction looks like. It looks like this. You can see you search for a word like ergonomic keyboards, and up the top there are some ads, and also down the side as well. Bing do the same thing. Essentially the same thing. It's probably not quite the same auction for reasons that will sort of become apparent later, but it's certainly the same principle. So what happens in keyword auctions? In keyword auctions, advertisers submit bids for keywords, and they offer $1 payment per click. There are alternatives to this. We could have a price paid just for seeing an ad. That's the sort of thing you get on newspapers. Or at certain times they thought, well, maybe we could have a price paid if you clicked and then bought something. Turns out, for search auctions, per click has been the most straightforward, and that's what we've got today. What most people don't know is that every time you type a search word into Google, it runs an auction. It actually runs an auction. So you have, it's billions and billions of auctions run every single day. It's quite extraordinary. Now, how does that happen? It's not like people walk up and say, "Oh, there's Joshua Gans. He's typing in ergonomic keyboards. Quickly, let's bid." No, there's a lot of robots and algorithms and other things that will be explained in a moment. The positions in the auction are what is valuable, higher up, more salience, and people have shown that that's actually the case. And so the positions are awarded in order of bids. Advertisers pay the bid of the advertiser in the position below them. And this is called a generalized second price auction format, of which in just a second you'll get to see some of the examples of that. The features of it is there are multiple positions, but advertisers only have to submit a single bid, so it's not very complicated. Search is highly targeted and transaction-oriented, so really, if you get your keywords right, you can really do quite well in generating these auctions and generating good results. Just a brief history. Prior to 1994, advertising was sold on a per-impression basis, traditional direct sales to advertisers. That's what Yahoo used to do. They used to go down to people, and they used to have a sales department, and they used to sell ads. Okay. In 1994, Overture, then it was actually called GoTo, allowed advertisers to bid for keywords and offered some amount per click. So these were the guys who invented that idea. And advertisers but had to pay their bids. Google didn't require that, and there are important reasons why. In the late 1990s, Yahoo and Microsoft Network, MSN, adopted the Overture auctions, but the mechanism turned out to prove unstable. Advertisers were constantly changing bids to avoid paying more than necessary. In 2002, Google modified the keyword auction to have advertisers pay the minimum amount necessary to maintain the position. It's called the generalized second price auction. That was later followed by Yahoo and Microsoft Network. And the person who invented that auction format for Google was Hal Varian, who will explain it to you next.